Hey people, it's me again. Anyways, this is my video blog, and what's going on with me, and I think I'm just ready to go back to the day shift of waking up in the mornings, and waking up early in the mornings and stuff like that, instead of like waking up in the afternoons and stuff, but I think I just miss the morning shows and all these sort of things that go on in the morning. And I have like a lot of other things to like think about as far as that goes. Excuse me on that. As far as everything else in my life goes, it's kind of like all up in the air, but it feels like, probably feel like happy about that kind of sort of thing, at least. As far as like my whole relationships with people, but I feel like I'm not really ready for like a commitment just yet, I probably have at least need to kind of figure this stuff, like just to spend time with certain guys, maybe at least more than once, or regardless of whether it's just sex or whatever, or even if it's just a night out or something. But I think the truth is I probably will be ready like for a committed relationship, as far as maybe within like 2 or 5 years from now, I mean, I'm usually at that age where guys are basically ready to have this kind of stuff about a committed relationship, or ready to settle in at some point, And for some people to kind of see that 30 is not really the right age, they're kind of a bunch of little crap, There are some people that actually get married at 30, and 30 is not really a bad age, to settle in, or even 35, or even 40, to settle in at 40, or even to settle in at 45 or 50, But it's just, to me, maybe I don't really have a need to rush in and stuff, because I can probably have a whole lifetime to make up for all these silly little things that got in my way early on in my late teens, early 20s, and stuff like that, and I can probably have all this time to make up for that, and let alone if I really want to go out and do things on my own and stuff without having the need to let everybody know I'm okay and stuff, and having to report to everyone about my whereabouts and stuff. And it just gets all cumbersome, and I just really just wanted to enjoy the moments and certain things like that, because I'm only going to be like that young for once, and then in an instant I'll be like 45 or 55 or whatever, and then wondering what the hell I just did, and here I basically feel like I don't really want to go and look back 20 years from now and then say that I regret wasting all my youth trying to prove to everyone that I can handle the real world and handle things on my own, and one day I should really basically give me enough space to do that in the first place. I mean, I basically gone around right now regret doing those normal teenage things that everybody else did in high school, even though I did have like friends in high school, but I couldn't really hang out with any of them because they were either like too busy with work, too busy with school, or if they had like issues with their parents or something like that, and I probably had a couple of issues with parents, and I probably had a couple of issues with the teachers, and who think that I spend too much time trying to get more of a social life than focus more on my schoolwork. And the whole thing is they should really help me more better on my social life as far as that goes, because that's basically how my whole reason why I was in special in the first place, because of that stuff. And I feel like I would have enjoyed that part of being like 18, 19, and 20 all over again a little bit better if I didn't have to worry about trying to prove to everyone that I'm not a little baby anymore, that I'm a big boy and stuff like that, and I didn't need Paxil or Zoloft to be sane, you know, because all I see was just Paxil and Zoloft was just simply a quick fix and all, and that I didn't really need to have something that's just basically going to be forcing me out of my shell, because you can't force people to do things like that. It's a matter of a choice whether they're willing to come out of their shell. You can't force someone out of their shell. And that was basically where I got all these little problems with my parents a few years ago, as far as that goes, and with all these people a few years ago, because they were trying to force me to become something that I'm not, or something that basically takes time to develop self-awareness, self-actualizations, and all these other things. And that's basically where I clash with everyone, for that matter. It takes time for me to kind of grow up and all that, but they have to kind of at least give me more emotional space to handle the emotional aspects of growing up, instead of like doing all of this. That's just basically how teenagers are sometimes. That's basically how anybody is as far as being a teenager and a young adult. That basically, if people would have treated them a little bit more like a young adult and give them more of emotional space, and then give them more of a way to cope with all the emotional aspects of growing up, then they wouldn't be that way. They wouldn't be that angst or moody and stuff like that. And then they have to understand that it's all hormones and all, but I think that's just how things are, you know. Anyways, this is my video blog.